All right, let's just jump right in. We're about to step into a fascinating world where ancient faith, incredible history, and some very serious, high-stakes collecting are all about to collide over a single, sacred object. And trust me, this isn't just about an old artifact. It's about belief, it's about legacy, and yeah, it's about a whole lot of money. And right out of the gate, we get to the heart of the problem. You know, this isn't just some random statement. It's a total bombshell. When the official group in charge of these things basically says, time out, we're putting a freeze on this, you know the debate has gotten seriously intense. They've essentially suspended all judgment, leaving everyone from collectors to believers in this crazy high-stakes limbo. And we need to be really clear about what's on the line here. We're not talking about some interesting trinkets. These amulets can be worth tens of thousands, sometimes even hundreds of thousands of dollars. So this isn't some quiet academic argument. This is a massive controversy with very real financial and spiritual consequences. So, how in the world did we get here? Well, it all boils down to two completely different origin stories. You've got these two camps, right? And each one is absolutely convinced they have the real story, with their own history and their own proof to back it up.
So on one hand, you've got what people call the villagers' version. They're adamant that the first amulets were made over a 12-year span, ending in the year 2515. Their sacred mixture was simpler, made with things like sticky rice and herbs. Then on the other side, you have the market version, the one the big-time collectors are after. They say the real ones were made in 2517. Same name, same revered creator, but two totally different timelines and a gigantic difference in price.
But to really get why these amulets are so important, you have to understand the man, the legend, who created them, Luang Pu Thim. The incredible reverence for him is the real source of the amulet's power. I mean, the stories people tell about Luang Pu Thim, they're just mind-blowing. People swore he could make holy water boil just by focusing on it. They said he could make talismans float and zip around the edge of a bowl. There are even stories that electrical generators would just shut down when he was near, and they wouldn't start again until he gave them his permission. These accounts from people who were there are what build his legend and why anything he touched is considered so unbelievably powerful.
And now we get to the very core of the amulet's power, and honestly, the source of all the controversy. We're talking about the sacred powder used to make it. Okay, this is where it gets really wild.
It's called Feng Fry Kuman, and the legend goes that Luang Pu Thim found the recipe for it in this ancient, hidden text. This powder is believed to hold a powerful spirit that actively helps whoever owns the amulet. But the way it's made, yeah, that's where the story takes a, let's just say, a pretty macabre turn.
Okay, let's just walk through this. The process, according to the texts, starts with getting the skull of a woman who passed away while she was pregnant. Then, that skull is dried for months, right there in the temple, before being ground into a superfine powder. That powder is then mixed with other sacred materials, and finally, it goes through this intense consecration ceremony. Every single step is a powerful ritual, meant to infuse the powder with a protective spirit. So now you see the full picture of the problem, right? You've got two competing histories, a huge price difference, and the amulets themselves look almost identical to the naked eye. It creates this massive dilemma for collectors, for believers, for anyone. How can you possibly know if what you're holding is the real deal?
And that really is the million-dollar question, isn't it? When you've got this much money and this much faith on the line, who do you trust? An expert's opinion can be debated, it can be biased. This whole world of ancient mysticism was just crying out for some kind of modern, objective answer.
And that answer, well, it came from somewhere nobody expected. Researchers at Durkij Pundit University in Thailand had a crazy idea. What if we used artificial intelligence to solve this?
They used a type of AI called a convolutional neural network, or CNN. Now, don't worry about the complex diagram. The idea is actually pretty simple. You basically just show the AI thousands and thousands of pictures of these amulets, and it literally teaches itself to spot the tiniest patterns, subtle details in the texture, the shape, the wear, just like a human expert would, but with the perfect memory and precision of a machine.
The exact AI model they used is called Xception. And yeah, just look at this thing. You don't need to know what every single box does to see how ridiculously complex it is. This isn't some simple little program. It's this deep, layered system built to see features and connections that are totally invisible to our eyes. It's kind of the perfect tool for a job this detailed. So, did it work? Oh boy, did it work. Just look at this table. See all those 1.00s? That means it was perfect. For several types of these amulets, the AI was literally 100% correct. Flawless.
The final number, the big takeaway, a staggering 98% accuracy overall. Just let that sink in for a second. In a field that's all about an expert's eye and gut feeling, this machine came in and was nearly perfect. It's repeatable, it's objective, it's incredible.
But here's what's really fascinating. It wasn't perfect, and where it made mistakes actually tells us a lot. Here, it got one wrong. It mixed up the amulet on the left with the group on the right. And why? Because they just look so unbelievably similar. It just goes to show you how insanely difficult this task is, even for a super powerful AI.
But then you look at this chart. It's called a confusion matrix, and it shows you just how rare those mistakes were. You see that really strong, bright diagonal line going from the top left to the bottom right? That's the good stuff. That means almost every single amulet landed exactly where it was supposed to. Out of 100 test images, it only messed up on 2. The accuracy is just overwhelming.
So where does all this leave us? We've gone from ancient legends to cutting-edge algorithms. What happens when those two worlds smash together?
Well, on one side, you have the cold, hard certainty of technology. The AI can analyze the physical object, the sacred powder, the shape, every tiny marking, and tell you with near-perfect precision if it matches an authentic group. It's objective evidence. But then, on the other side, this whole debate was never just about the physical stuff, was it? It's about stories passed down from a grandmother to her grandson. It's about a community's identity, and it's about the very nature of belief itself. It's about which story you trust.
And that brings us to the final, really tricky question. An algorithm can tell you if an object is physically authentic, but can it ever validate someone's faith? It can confirm an amulet matches the 2517 batch, but it can't look a villager in the eye and say their family heirloom, the 2515 version they've cherished for decades, is somehow wrong. It's this incredible clash, right, where the absolute certainty of tech meets the deeply personal, messy world of belief. So I guess I have to ask, what do you think?